This world is difficult. People are too imperfect. They lie all the time. They always commit mistakes all the time. And finally, because we have around us only people of this world, so it is very difficult if we do not have the spiritual experience. At some point we think, what am I doing here? It's true. Everyone is cheating us. Prabhupada was saying that the only person that cannot cheat us is Krishna. His disciples sometimes will say that at least with him they will not be touched. One day one disciple said, I do not have faith in your representative, but in you, yes. Prabhupada said, no. I can also cheat you. But Krishna, him, no. This is the nature of a true devotee. A true devotee, he never says he is the shelter. It is not good to think like that. Sometimes people, they write to me letters. I want to take shelter, but I am more fallen than them. How can I give them shelter? Prabhupada had this mood. Very humble, Prabhupada. It's normal. Prabhupada was saying, Krishna is really funny. Krishna is very funny. If Krishna wants to make someone laugh, he can really do, because he has everything to make him laugh. And also, since he is the Supreme Lord, and he hides his opulences, and he forgets that he is the Supreme Lord, still he understands. Still he understands, and he knows what can amuse a person the most. And since he is unlimited, he can at the same time amuse unlimited amount of people. That's why he is fascinating, because everyone, because Krishna is always expanding his limits. For example, in Kadamba, there is this pastime. The sadhu there explained to us that this kund is particular because there is a strong particle of foam that looks like the grass, like a field grass. And when Krishna throws the ball, he says, who will go get the ball? Everyone thinks this is like a firm ground. Everyone thinks it's a firm ground. And then they run, and then they fall in the water. And then everyone starts to laugh because it's very funny. Because the inhabitants of Braj, they are very funny. They are very funny there. And because this is the pure ecstasy, when devotees, they laugh sometimes for 3, 4, 5 hours on end, and they roll on the ground. It's just like a churning of nectar. And when they go back to the normal state, it is just like the time erased what happened before, and then it starts over again. This is the nature of Vrindavan. It's very funny. Prabhupada, one day, he was looking Charlie Chaplin in the airplane, and the devotees were surprised because Prabhupada was laughing. He was laughing and laughing. Why? Because it reminded him of Krishna, because Krishna is extremely funny. We like funny people. When in a gang there's not someone funny, it's not easy. There's always a funny person. It's part of harmony. I remember when I was in a gang, there was a funny guy. Because otherwise, there's no joke. But when there's a funny guy there, everyone is laughing and waiting for the funny guy to make a joke. So in the same way, In Krishna's friends, there are funny people, funny cowherd boys, because this is the nature of gopas, to play and to laugh. This is why we cannot live without feelings. People, for example, will listen to a song and it will touch their heart. They will cry and they need feelings. It's like we need to laugh. We need to be together. We need to do things together. Because this is the nature of Vrindavan. It is the nature to be together and accomplish things that touch the heart. So, like a negative life without taste is a life without smiles, with no feelings. This is why, for example, people, although they suffer, they like to fall in love. But they cannot stop falling in love because this is the nature of living beings, to taste feelings. But through the chanting of the holy name, we can experience deep feelings. And this is for devotees who have a particular taste for chanting. When Krishna revealed himself through the chanting, so we can be brought to taste the great feelings. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he spent so many years in Gambhira tasting feelings, just absorbing himself in feelings. So, this is the nature of a devotee to taste feelings. When there are no feelings, it is death. Even if the devotee does not have desires, even if he doesn't have attraction in this world, if he has feelings, if he doesn't have feelings, then this is death. Even if Krishna tells him, don't worry, but if there are no feelings, he will not be able to live. It is just like a bee who cannot find nectar. It's very painful for a bee not to find nectar. Very painful. Because this world, through the imperfections of living beings, and the fact that no living being can be the shelter of a devotee, each word, each bad quality, is just like a thorn. And so, the suffering of a devotee becomes truly extreme, because he's a bee, he needs the nectar of Krishna. It is his nature. This is why Mahaprabhu, when he was in this atmosphere, and in this feeling of Srimati Radharani, naturally, he was crying. He was saying, each moment seems like an eternity. Each moment seems like an eternity. They are feelings that are so strong. I don't even know if material destruction could be compared to a reflection of this kind of feeling. 1 second is like millions of years. One moment with Krishna is so quick. That's why sometimes the gopis, they pray Krishna that he increases the time. Although the time is unlimited, it's always very quick. Because Krishna is so beautiful, so wonderful. This is why we could say, how can we leave such a person like that? It's impossible. That's why we cannot fall down from the transcendental world. How such power of attraction could cease? Because everything is made of prem in Braj. The material energy does not have any space there, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains. Never a devotee can envy Krishna. Can you believe? In this world, we can fall in love with an insignificant conditioned soul. Could we imagine to fall in love with the unlimited personality which is always greater? It is impossible to let go of such a person. It's a wrong understanding. It's true that sometimes Krishna, he wants his associates to come down in the material world. There are pastimes where they are chastised. That's true. But it's never. It's never by themselves that they want to leave Krishna. Sometimes devotees are very merciful. We saw in Srila Prabhupada, Krishna, he asked him to come back. He told Krishna, I have not finished my mission. Sometimes devotees are so merciful toward conditioned souls. This is the greatness of Prabhupada. Such mercy. It's really rare to see a devotee of this caliber. Krishnadas, Akinchana Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj was saying that there was no greater devotee on the planet than Srila Prabhupada. But still, he was a disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta. He said, nobody has as much love for the holy name. Prabhupada, he said to everybody to chant the holy name. He asked everyone. One day, the Prabhupada disciples, they asked themselves the question, is Prabhupada chanting 64 rounds? Because Prabhupada was always preaching, that night he was writing books, chanting 64 rounds. Is a lot of time. Prabhupada chants quick. And at the speed he's chanting, it takes 3 hours and a half to chant 64 rounds. One day Prabhupada was on the phone, and on the phone, there's always, next to his phone, always there were a paper and a pen. And they look what was under the paper, and there was, he had written Hare Krishna. Because Prabhupada was always chanting. Srila Haridas Thakur, the day before, when he left the planet, he complained to Mahaprabhu. He said, oh, I'm sick. I cannot chant my 3 times 64 rounds. Haridas Thakur was chanting 64 rounds mentally, 64 rounds with a high voice, and 64 rounds like in a low voice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, but you're a liberated soul. You have the right to chant less or more. In the same way, great Vaishnavas, sometimes they can, since they are not subjected to the rules of devotional service, sometimes they can change a little bit their standard to give mercy. But in theory, we are never, which never change our number of rounds. We must keep our rounds, number of rounds fixed. Or if it changes, we have to see that with the spiritual master. But when we chant less, there's a sickness, that means. Haridas Thakur, It was not a sickness, the fact he had to chant less. He knew he had to leave the planet. His desire was to leave the planet before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he told Mahaprabhu, I know that you will finish your pastime soon. I'm only asking you something. It's to leave before you. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, you're not good now. I will come back tomorrow. And then he came back the next day, and Haridas Thakur, because Mahaprabhu knew that he will leave his body, that Haridas Thakur will leave his body. So he came to see Haridas Thakur, just like he came to see Bhishma. It's similar in reality. The departure of a devotee and the birth of a devotee, it is the same value, because it is as beautiful to see how his departure is as beautiful as his birth. Of course, there are devotees who take birth also, and there are all kinds of devotees. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta explains this. He explains that Krishna, he can make his devotee take birth in any condition, in order to make people see that in any condition whatsoever we can attain perfection. So even if a devotee takes birth in a family of devotees, his nature, even if he takes birth in a materialistic family, his nature will always be there. It's just a question of time. It comes from Krishna. He decides when he wants to awaken his devotee. And the realization he has from Krishna is already really elevated, even more elevated than people who will have attained pure devotion, but who attain a certain stage. The darshan that an associate of the Lord can have, it is inconceivable for living beings, even if he is not initiated. As soon as he is reconnected, as soon as Krishna reconnects with him, already he attains perfection. We must understand this type of behavior, that he is not an ordinary being. But the Vaishnava is really humble. Srila Prabhupada explained this. When a devotee is very elevated in love of God, the more he is elevated, the more he feels fallen. Never he tries to hide his mistakes by looking to be like a great acharya. He has no problem to say he is fallen, because this is his nature, because he sees only faults in him. He only sees that he has lost his life. When Krishnadas, Babaji Maharaj, when he left his body, what did he say? I did not attain perfection. I did not worship Krishna. What must I do? My body should be brought into the streets with a rope all around Vrindavan, because I need the mercy of the Dham and the Vaishnavas. So it should be pulled with ropes all over the Dham. When all these Babajis, they wanted to pull the body of Srila Gokishodas Babaji Maharaj around the Dham, Bhaktisiddhanta came and said, you don't understand anything. Even Brahma takes the dust from Gokshadas Babaji and puts it on his head, and then you want to pull his body with ropes around Vrindavan. Bhaktisiddhanta, he hallucinated at the lack of spiritual realization of these Babajis. They thought they were disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta, but they did not understand his mood. Great humility, very great humility. But still, he could speak directly to Krishna. He is Puna Manjari, one of the 8 principal manjaris, Gokshodas Babaji Maharaj. And he said, I failed in this life. Can you believe it? It's so beautiful. He did not say to make a show. He really felt it. He cried. Madhavendra Puri. He was in the same way. Ishvara Puri. He served Madhavendra Puri. But there was another Vaishnava. He was called Ramachandra Khan. He was saying to Madhavendra Puri, when he was in the feeling of Shrimati Radharani, but absorb yourself in Brahman, and everything will be good, will go well, in the impersonal aspect of God. The Madhavendra Puri was saying, oh, please, I don't want to, please, let this idiot leave my view. He's making me suffer even more. And Ramachandra Puri, he became, he is Jatila in Krishna's pastimes. Radharani's stepmother. She always sees faults in Radharani. It's normal, Ramachandra Puri, he saw faults everywhere. So, since he offended his guru, he started to see faults everywhere, and when he saw Mahaprabhu, he was looking for faults everywhere. His favorite pastime, Ramachandra Puri, was to make devotees eat, and not to criticize them that they were eating too much. They eat too much. And when he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu had a lot of respect for him. It's normal. He was in the mood of Radharani. Ramachandra Puri, when he saw the ants in the house of Mahaprabhu, he said, oh, there's sugar here. I see that the sannyasi is attached to sugar. And then Mahaprabhu, he ate half. And all the devotees, they were so unhappy. Ramachandra Puri was saying, oh, this Lord, Mahaprabhu. And as soon as he wanted to feed him, he refused. So of course, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that sometimes Mahaprabhu, he ignored Ramachandra Puri, and sometimes not. Because he was a god brother of a spiritual master. And when Ramachandra Puri left, all they were delivered. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted again all the invitations from his. It was a great suffering for them not to invite him for lunch. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta explains that Ishvara Puri and Ramachandra Puri, they are one or the other, two examples of what it is to receive the mercy of the Guru and receiving the blame, the chastisement of the Guru. There are two extremes. One receives the mercy, one receives the chastisement. But they are associates of the Lord. They are eternal associates of the Lord. They do not fall down. It is the way, it is like that. It doesn't mean we should start criticizing Vaishnavas. But Ramachandra Puri, he could not fall down. He was criticizing the Supreme Lord. He even saw faults in the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada explains this. This is the result of committing Guru Aparad. We even see faults in God. We see sometimes people, they have opinions about the Supreme Lord. I saw a documentary, one was saying Someone was saying, if God exists, is like such a because people don't understand why there are wars, why there are this and that. They don't understand that the soul is beyond all of this, and that as long as the soul acts independently from the Supreme Lord, she takes the reactions of her actions. When we understand this, we can free ourselves. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains in the second chapter, the one who sees happiness and pain like similar, and he stays detached from it, he is able to know the state of liberation. So we must have this attitude. Bhishma had this attitude. He was pierced with so many arrows, but he did not complain. He just wanted to have Krishna's darshan. We should tolerate everything that happens to us in this life. What can we do anyway but to tolerate and continue to do our service? Krishna will come. Krishna, it is his nature to come. But it doesn't come always when we desire it. He will come when we will be ready to accept everything. This is why gopis are the greatest example. Krishna is calling them, and tells them, what are you doing here? You should go back. This is Krishna's nature. Krishna is so expert to love his devotee. In truth, Krishna, he really wants to be with them, but he does that to increase their love. It is a story of love. When Krishna hides himself, it's a story of love. It's not that he's not qualified. The qualification is already there. But it is Krishna's game. The devotee thinks that, he even thinks sometimes that Krishna cheated him. He said, you told me that, but it never happened. Even there, the devotee, he continues to, anyway, you're my only object of love. I have nothing else. You can do whatever you want. If it is your pleasure, I accept it. This is love. Are you ready for this? You won't obtain Krishna otherwise. If there's not a minimum this is the minimum. There's no vision of Krishna's world. This is the minimum. When the devotees crack, it's just the time when Krishna came, and they crack. Oh, I can't do it anymore, I want to leave. They all have their moment in the year. But where do they want to go? To do what? To do what? And how long? Before dying. And take birth again. What is what's the goal of constructing a house? Working so hard for what? For something that has no substance. Just like the Buddhists. They are used to do mandalas. It takes them so much time. It's so beautiful. And then after that they erase everything. It's to create the feeling that everything is temporary. We should construct something for Krishna, because the activity for Krishna brings to eternity. It is not wind. Through the path of spiritual life, we can understand what is tangible, and not simply stop on something temporary. It is possible. The holy name is eternally pure, powerful. It's Krishna directly. And Krishna's world is in there. And it can be experienced if there is surrender, if there is a powerful attitude. Otherwise, it is not possible. When a devotee experiences Krishna Prema through the holy name, he understands that it is by attitude. On that day, he had a special attitude. He remembers, I was just like a child. I wanted to play with Krishna. I wanted to serve the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. He remembers this. He had a state of being where he forgot all roles. He was running simply by the desire. And then the holy name reveals itself in the same way. The state of being you have, Krishna will reciprocate with your state of being. And then you will experience Krishna. You'll be in your spiritual body. Once this is experienced, after, you won't be able to experience this world. This famous verse that explains that if you want to taste material pleasure, so don't look. This beautiful young man who took a position curved in 3 places and replaced the flute, because you won't be able to taste anything else. Even the Brahman will seem insignificant. Can you believe it? The devotee who saw Krishna, when Krishna made him experience Brahman, it is just like a punishment. He's running after, they're all running after this. For the Buddhist, this is the highest realization. But for a devotee, it is just a bad joke, just a state of suffering. There's no Krishna. A bliss without Krishna. They are just crying. It's just emptiness. It's just death. A devotee, he does not need bliss. He just wants to give his heart to Krishna. He just wants to be with Krishna. He doesn't want anything else. He doesn't want a big service. He doesn't want a big place. He just wants to be very small in the abode, in Krishna's abode. A devotee is someone very simple. A materialistic person is very complicated. If you develop a materialistic spirit, you want to be a guru, a sannyasi, an acharya. If you make mistakes, you say, no, it's not a mistake. You'll write letters to replace it, to hide everything. But in Braj, it is not like that. We don't care if everybody criticizes it. We don't care about this world. It's too small. Let them quarrel for institutions. We just want to do a small service, but a true service. This is what we want. But at this moment, if we have this mentality, we will learn to do this service, we'll be protected. Everyone will criticize us. They will say, he is crazy, this one. But Krishna will love you. And he will love you like that. In the fact that everyone can reject you. Prabhupada said that. Mahaprabhu said that. When Krishna gives his mercy, everyone rejects you. When it's everybody. Only Krishna does not reject you.